Hi, my name is Andy Hawker. I love things that go fast. I'm hoping that we can have some fun together. So join me as a fellow disciple of speed. Hello and welcome, fellow disciples of speed, to another episode. I want to recap a little bit about the Matchbox cars that we've talked about, the early Lesney cars specifically, and then look into the final part of the early chapter of Matchbox. So, as you recall, in 1953, Lesney came out with the Coronation Coach, and that started everything. And then after that, they began producing their 1-75 series, which was the small die-cast cars. In 1956, they came out with their models of yesteryear. They started producing those, and they also came out with the accessory packs, and we looked at those before as well. So in 1957, they came out with the major packs, and the major packs were some cars that were a little bit bigger, but that was kind of short-lived because in 1916, then they came out with the king size, and we looked at all of those series up to this point. As you recall, in 1968, Hot Wheels came onto the market, and that changed everything. That changed it for all of the producers. And so what had to happen then was Matchbox came out with their super fast wheels so that their cars rolled as freely and as fast as the Hot Wheels cars. And that was in 1969 that they came out with super fast, and that was on the small 1-75 models in the 164-ish scale. But it wasn't until 1971 that they started putting the super fast style wheel on the king size vehicles. And when they did that, they called them Super Kings. And that's what I want to look at today, is some of the Super Kings. They also came out with that same year Speed Kings, and they really just did that to differentiate some of the fast, larger scale cars that were part of the king size series, just kind of differentiate them a little bit from the Super Kings. But today we're going to look at that. I also have in my collection a couple of the cars, king size cars that were transition cars. So I have them as just regular king size and in the Super King. So I'll show you those as well. And then lastly today, I just want to take a look at some of my recent additions to my collection. And then in that, I have some unboxing of some very nice Lesney products that I've recently acquired. So we'll get to it. So here we are with two of my king size to Super Kings transition vehicles. And I just wanted to quickly go over these and just show you some of the differences. So we'll start here. This is the mobile crane. You can see in there. Hopefully get the light right on it. And this is a king size. And it even says king size number K12 in there. But as you recall, this has the two-piece wheels. And you can kind of see how they were the black plastic on the hub. And this is a Lang, obviously. So this little crane truck, and it's been played with. It's in pretty good shape, but you know, some minor chips. But this is one of the vehicles that was obviously an early king size, but it was a transition vehicle. And what we mean by that is because this same vehicle then went on to become a Super King. And you can see the difference in the two wheels, right? We looked at this two-piece wheel, and now here we have the super fast wheels that were designed for these vehicles. Now you can see a little bit of a difference in the chassis as well. So there's a little more of a gap in here because it was a transition, and they had to redo how the wheels mounted versus the previous way. So they were kind of still working out the differences into the transition into the super fast wheels. But again, this is a great example of that change. I have another one here. This is the king size version, and you can see that this is the Meriwether fire engine. It's king size number 13. And again, you can see the two-piece wheels. This guy's in really nice condition. I'm very happy with this little model. The ladder is there, it's intact, the stickers are good. And again, being a transition piece, then it went into the Super King era with the super fast wheels. And you can see that essentially the only other difference here is the paint color. It went to more of a metallic color than just the basic red. And so same casting. The base, they did have to redo the casting on the base to accommodate the super fast wheels. But again, this is a really pretty clean transition design. So that is those are my two transition vehicles that I wanted to show you. And now we'll take a look at my collection of Super Kings. Okay, now we're going to look at my Super Kings and Speed Kings that are in my collection at this moment. But we're going to start off with this guy. This is a Mustang. You can see it's a Zack Speed Mustang. It's a Matchbox, but it's a Matchbox Special. I wanted to point this one out because it's in the same design, I guess, as Super Kings or Speed Kings, but this one's made in China, so obviously it's much later. But it's a fun little car too. Got a little bit of play wear to it, but just wanted to point that out real quick. We've already looked at this Meriwether fire truck. Again, the working ladder and the decals are all in place. The ladder's got a little bit of ding up there, but pretty good shape. And then we also looked at the crane truck with the super fast wheels. The next one that I have here is really one of the earlier ones that I got. This is obviously a tow truck. It is the Peterbilt truck, and it's a Super King. And it's really a lot of fun. I mean, you've got the little knobs to turn the wheels and pull up the hooks. It's got the supports that come out. So that's a real fun one there. Here's one is a little more recent acquisition. You can see this is the Super Bulldozer, and yeah, it's in pretty good condition. I had to get replacement tracks for it. The tracks were gone, but really other than that, not too bad. That's a lot of fun. The next car is a Super King as well. It's this police car. It's a Jaguar. What does that say? That says XJ12, right. And you can see that the trunk opens on it. And you do see that it says Super King. So this is one of the early cars that was in the Super King collection. Got the tow hook on it. And the next one is as well. This is also a Super King. So this is a Jaguar XJ6. So here you can see that the hood opens, and you can see the engine there. The doors open, and but also a Super King. So not too bad. But then you'll see this next car here. This is the Corvette wagon hatchback. They call it the Corvette Caper Cart. Caper Cart. And but you'll see it says Super Kings also. So yeah, sorry, this one is still a Super King. So it's kind of interesting, right? And this car's in great condition. Really no paint dings. The doors open. And then this car, this Formula car, here's where we start getting into the Speed Kings. You can see that. So really the Speed Kings, more or less, were just a subset of the Super Kings, still have the super fast wheels. This car was painted over by somebody. I found this in a secondhand store, I think, somewhere. But yeah, somebody painted over it. But it's a little rough, but I like it. And the next one is also a Speed King. Here we have the Marauder. So this guy's a little rough too. It's been well played with. You can see the stickers are pretty rough shape, pretty gone. Paint's a little rough, but and got a little windshield damage here. However, it's reminiscent of the old McLarens, and I liked it a lot. So great little find there. Also a Speed King here. This is the Javelin, AMX Javelin. And stickers pretty worn on this one too. Well loved, well played with. The doors open. And so it's a fun little guy as well. This next car is the I'm having a hard time with that. Oh, it's the Maserati Bora. Yeah, Maserati Bora. And you can see it's also Speed King. So, again, has some well played with. And the hood opens. There we go. Hood opens. Here we go. And actually, that's the boot in the front where you'd put your luggage. You can see some luggage in there. And the engine is in the back. So, nice car there. This one's in really pretty good shape. This is part of the Speed King series, also the Mercury Commuter. So this car would have had a tow hook here. It's been snapped off, and it had a trailer that towed a race car behind it. So you can see you've got some toolboxes, toolkits, spare parts, whatever, some spare tires here for the race car. But doors open on this, and a team matchbox. So stickers are in pretty good shape. I'd like to find the trailer at some point and the car that goes with it, but pretty good condition. So the next one here is this little funny car. You can see the parachute back here. It doesn't have the name on it. I forget the name of it. They didn't put the name on this. Made in England, so there's funny cars in England, evidently. So here we've got the prop, holds up the bodywork, and really in pretty good shape. I was pretty impressed with this one when I got it. The next one that we have is a fantasy design matchbox, like Hot Wheels, like all the others did a lot of fantasy designs. This is called Shovel Nose, and this guy has the compartment that opens there, and pretty good condition, number 4. You know, not too bad. The next one is the same casting, but it is a it's a fire chief vehicle. So it's the same casting, opens up, and it was you could see on the bottom that it has K32 and K40. So it was, one was the 32, one was the 40, but both were a shovel nose casting. This car here is also a Speed King. And you see that there's no name on it, but it's a Model T, Hot T, and the back opens up, shows you some tools. This car I've had since I was a kid. I really, I took care of this car. For whatever reason, I just didn't want to play with it too hard, so I mostly kept it on a shelf its whole life. Played with it some, but took very good care of it. Here we have the Raider Command. Now this is part of the Adventure 2000, which was a series of kind of space vehicles that were part of the Super Kings line. Came out later in the series, but this would have had another vehicle that this would go into, and it had tracks on it, and the whole thing could move together, and then this could take off from the other vehicle and you know, go explore on its own, I guess. Pretty good condition there. Next, I've got a couple of buses. So this is the Londoner. So here's your typical double-decker bus, modern version, and these doors back here open. And so yeah, pretty good shape. The stickers aren't terribly bad. So yeah, and the next one is the same thing. It's also the Londoner, you can see right there. But this one, and half of the sticker's gone here, but the part that I really like is Silver Jubilee. So this was in commemoration of Queen Elizabeth's Silver Jubilee. Now, the reason that it says 1952, and we've talked so much about the coronation coach and Matchbox beginning in 1953, it's because she actually became queen the moment her father died, which was in 1952, and so but her coronation took place in 1953. So this is the Silver Jubilee. We have another Lang vehicle, but this is a a crane truck, as you can see. It's got the supports that come out there. So this is the Hercules mobile crane, and this guy's in really good shape. All of the components extend here. You know, this part extends. The hook is in good shape. So yep, that's a nice model. Next we have the Oh, it's the other way. We have the hovercraft. It is the, well, there's some initials there and I can't quite make them out. But this is a modern hovercraft and it is the Sea Speed. Now, it's interesting that there's only one sticker on here, but they only put one sticker on this guy, on this side, for whatever reason. Every one that I've ever seen has only had the one sticker. SRN6, good condition. Blades are nice. And as it as everything turned, it would, as you turn the wheels, the blade would turn and the radar would turn. So that's kind of fun. That's a great car. This one I've had for a number of years, probably about 35 years. But this is the racing car transporter. Now you'll see online a lot of different race cars associated with the transporter. You can see the doors open. There are the gull wing doors here. In the back, the tailgate would drop down, and then the car could drive out. And there's different cars that are associated with this. This one happens to be, and this is, you know, part of the Lesney series, but it's the Formula One. So I just have that car here with this one. They're the same color, yeah, so kind of match. And it's a good find as well. All right, now let's go back to the other end here. So this truck, you can see, is the Super King. It is a it doesn't really give me the name of it, it just gives us the numbers. But what this truck was an airplane transporter. So there would be an airplane fuselage that would sit across here, and then the wings would sit on either side. And obviously, with this set, the airplane would disappear very easily. So what I've done is I found this little plastic boat, and so I just make this, for the time being, a boat transporter, and that works good enough. We have another fire truck here. This is the just fire tender, and pretty good shape, not too bad. It does have a couple pieces that are missing on it, but you know, it's good for now. A little well played with, well loved, as I like to say. Now this guy is a heavy-duty tow truck. You can see it is missing the tow hook. It broke off shell. Recovery, so it's called a recovery truck. So it's a big tow truck. But what you'll see here is it says Battle Kings. So this is, again, another subset of the Super King series, and it was the series of military vehicles. This was done in olive drab originally as a part of the military group, and so yeah, that's why it says Battle Kings, but it is just decorated for a regular tow truck. We have essentially the exact same casting here, and it is a Super King. So this is the big tipper. So this is just a big dump truck, and it would just move like that. This one's in pretty good shape. A little bit of wear to it, but not too bad. Missing the stickers, not terribly unusual. Here we're going to get to this truck and trailer. So here we have a Battle King also. This is the tank transporter. So this guy, and you'll see back here, it's Battle King's also tank transporter. So this is a tractor trailer, and what this hauled obviously was the tank. And so this is the tank, and this is the, oh, turn around here. It is the Chieftain tank. So this guy's all original, in very good condition, as is the truck. I found these two separately, so they do go together. They're supposed to be together, but I found them separately. And so you can see the ramps drop down, so you can drive the tank off the back, and both in very nice condition. I do have the tank again. So I have this, both the tank twice, and this one's in just pristine condition as well. Paint is perfect. The treads are still great. So very nice find. So I got 2 of those tanks along with that tank transporter. Now a little earlier version of that is the next one here. So let's pull this one over. And this one's a little interesting. So here's the tractor that goes with it. It is a Scammell tractor. You see up front there, and it says Scammell tractor on the bottom. And then here's the trailer. So this is a low loader trailer. Now, what's great about this is that this would originally have had a bulldozer on it, but I found this tank as well, and this is, you know, a Sherman tank, and this guy is in pristine condition as well. Paint is perfect, stickers are perfect, the treads are original. I don't run the treads on any of these guys because they're old, but they're still there, they're still complete. So I keep my tank on this transporter, this lowboy. It's got a little winch here to pull up the bulldozer or the tank or whatever it happens to be. But how does it pull it up? How do you get it off there? Well, what was kind of cool about this design is they made it so the tow tongue came off, and then this sat flat on the table, so you could drive up on it. So in this case, you know, you could just drive up the trailer or the tractor on there if you wanted to. So that's how that went together, and then you could use the winch to pull up the tractor or the tank or whatever, and then you just load it and go. You're ready to go. All right. Okay, so the next set actually would have come as a set. And again, I found these two separately, 2 different places. This first one, we'll look at the car. You can see that it's a Ford Capri. Now this is a Speed King, and the hatch opens up in the back, and pretty good condition, just some minor paint chips. And this would be the transporter. So it just says transporter, and this is a Super King, but this would have been a set. These guys actually came together in a set. And so when I found, actually I found the little Ford Capri first, and then later found the transporter, and realized, oh wow, now I've got that set. That's great. Fun set. Next, we've got the Super King Ford H Series tractor, and you can see Transcontinental. So this is like a construction vehicle. It's got side loading. The sides drop down here, and over here on this side drop down, so you can do side loading on this. And as well as the cab tips forward, and you can see the whole engine compartment. Pretty darn good vehicle. I like this one quite a bit. And this also came with a trailer. So here's the trailer that would go with that. It would have had some sideboards maybe here. The gate drops down for loading, and then it would just hook to the back. So that's a fun addition as well, fun set. Next we have the Freightliner. Yep, just says Freightliner. Okay. Now, what's fun about this truck is it's got the sliding doors, kind of like the one we just looked at with side loading. So the doors will slide. You see LEP International Transport, sliding door here, and a sliding door on the other side as well. And so you'd be able to load and unload from the side. This one's in really good shape. Very pleased when I found it. I was happy with that. Much like that one is the next one. It's the same, basically the same truck. It is the container truck, but you'll see that essentially they are the exact same truck, even though they have different names to them. But this is the container truck, and it's just for a cargo container, and the cargo container can come off, and the doors on the cargo container can open. So that's kind of fun. So you can transport cargo very easily. that one back. Now the next one is this Texaco tank truck. Now this guy I've had since I was a kid, and I did play quite a bit with this one. You see it's got a little bit of dust on it there, but it still has the side pipe here that would fit into the valves to dump the fuel at the gas station. This thing is in still great shape. I did play with this. This was one of my favorites as a kid. I'd get all my cars out, and having a big semi to service the gas station was awesome. So this obviously could disengage, and then you had the wheels that drop down so that you could park the trailer if you wanted, and you could take the cab separately. The other thing was you had this little knob on the side, and you could flip the hood open and see the engine. So pretty darn nice, a lot of fun. Another one that I just loved and really took care of. This guy came across a couple years ago. This is the Ferrari Racing Transporter. So it opens on the side here, and then you can see the tools in there, and a little crew area to work. And then the back opens up as well, and you've got 2 Ferrari race cars in there. So this I found at a secondhand store, and it had both of the Ferrari race cars in it. But what it did not have, unfortunately, is the cab. And the cab is a small red cab, and on the front it says Ferrari. So I keep my eye out whenever I go to any kind of secondhand stores, antique stores, whatever, looking for that cab. Hope to find one, someday, not too long. In the meantime, I use this cab. I put it in my case. This is the cab that is in use. This cab is a Super King as well. This was also part of another style of transporter. So yeah, that's the one I use right now for my Ferrari. This car transporter is the DAF car transporter. Now, this one I've had since, elementary school, since I was a kid. And I played with this one a lot too. But I still just took really good care of it. I just really liked it a lot, and still in pretty good condition. And so I over the years though, playing with it, these little red plastic wheel chocks right here, they're adjustable. You can move them up and back, depending on the car you put up there. But those would easily get lost, and I lost both of mine. So those are aftermarket. I got those from Recovery Toy in New Zealand, and so yeah, they're great. I just have some odds and ends here. I've got one of these same tractor that we looked at on the Texaco tanker. This one happens to be, though, part of a Battle King, so that's why it's in the olive drab. I've got a trailer. This trailer design was both for boat and flatbed, and you can see some posts here. So they would put a different type of base here depending on if it was a boat trailer or if it was a flatbed trailer, and I found this somewhere along the way. Another trailer. This was part of a Ford. No, not a Ford, I'm sorry, just a farm tractor. And it was same like this. It was customized in these same colors. And this was the trailer that would go with that tractor. And lastly, I want to show you my my largest matchbox. So this is the biggest matchbox that I have. And this is it's a Super King, and it is the Snorkel fire engine. Now, it's really kind of fun. It's a Simon Snorkel, and it's got of course the basket in the back, and it's got some rubber hose here on a reel, but it's also got the wind up parts, so you can raise up the boom and put out the fire. and it turns. And it's also got the stabilizers that come out on the sides, 4 of them, 2 on each side. So this was a fun one to find as well. They're out there. They're not terribly hard to find, but this is in great condition. I also wanted to bring back, though, one we looked at before in the Corgi series. So this is the same truck. It's a Simon Snorkel, but it's a much earlier design model, right? So this is a newer model from Matchbox, and obviously much bigger than the Corgi was. This was a big size Corgi, but this is just massive. The Matchbox one is massive, but both Simon Snorkels, so that's kind of fun. All right, next I want to just show you some of my recent finds. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some recent acquisitions. This first one is a Husky, and it's the Guy Warrior Tanker shell. Just great condition, almost perfect. 1964 is when this would have come out, so very good find there. This next one I'm very happy with. This is the Austin 200-gallon water truck. Lesney, part of the military trucks that they did early on, and love that guy. That's in great condition. Nice addition as well. This one, I met a woman about a year ago. Her name is Leslie Topfer, and I by a chance meeting in an antique store, she mentioned that her brother had passed away and wanted to know if I knew anybody who might be interested in some of his car collection. And I said, well, yeah, I would be. So it's been a year, and we finally were able to meet up. Her brother's name was Forrest Gartrell, and he had some nice pieces. So some of what I'm going to show you today were his and his collection, and this one is. This is a Maserati Lesney, the Maserati 4CLT, and just really pretty good condition. This is an older car, and the 52 sticker is mostly there on that side. A little bit of paint chipping on the top there. That's easily restored. Just a great little car. So that came from her brother Forrest's collection, as did this little Jaguar. So here we have, you know, the 3.4 liter Jaguar. Little rough, a little played with. And this is has an opening hood, and so that's a nice little addition that I did not have as well. This I picked up in an antique store or secondhand store somewhere here recently. This is a Tootsie toy. Not too many collectors of Tootsie toys out there, but you know, they are die-cast. This is a die-cast base, obviously plastic top, but a great little camp trailer. So Tootsie toy. This next car is the Lamborghini Miura, and this would have been with, this is a transition car, because the Miura came out with the black plastic wheels, and I have the black plastic wheels in my collection. I have one with black plastic. This is the first iteration of the Superfast. You can see how narrow they are, and this was the very first iteration. They were able to kind of get away with this without changing the casting too much to compete again with Hot Wheels, but they didn't really last very well. These wheels were kind of fragile, and they ended up going to the wider Superfast wheels, obviously, at a later point. But again, beautiful little car. Very, very happy with that. Here's a really good one. This is the Ford Galaxy. This was either, you can see 55/59, so it was either a police car or a fire chief car. And this one's in pretty darn good condition. Just some minor paint wear. Now we're going to look at another Tootsie toy. This is a Tootsie toy, but this was also part of Forrest's collection. And you can see it's got a little wear here, but oh my gosh, what a great little boat and trailer. This is obviously well played with, but yeah, it just needs a little cleaning on the boat. This trailer is easily repainted. Just a great little find. This is an all plastic wheel axle set, so but just really fun. This is also a Tootsie toy. So this is a Rambler, But this is an HO series, HO scale, I should say. So this is a 187 scale. Tootsie Toys today their paint is typically gone. I think that's one reason why a lot of collectors don't like them. Plus, they're just not. They're very simple toys. So now I want to look at some Lesneys that I got from Forest Collection also that are still in or I should say have their boxes. And this is the Foden concrete truck, and this is the black plastic. Obviously, this would have been the first when it first came out. Just very minor paint wear on it. I love this because as the wheels roll, it turns the barrel on the concrete truck in the back there. So very fun. I have this same truck in the Superfast. This would have also been a transition truck or transition vehicle. I have a couple of these, but this one was just really kind of too hard to pass up. It's the Ford tractor, the number 36 Ford tractor. Again, the two-piece wheels, so these would often just fall off after time. The plastic would expand and contract and eventually just not fit very well. And these can easily be just super glued back on. But that guy is in really good condition, just very minor wear on it. Very pleased. I have one of these, but this one I liked it as well. So this is let's see, it's the Case tractor. It's a bulldozer. Still has the original tracks, which is very nice to see. You can get replacement tracks, but when you can find the original ones, that's great. It's got the cab, and the cab was removable. A lot of times this cab would just disappear. It'd just be gone. The one that I had as a child, yeah, the cab was gone. So anyway, nice to find that. Great addition. Here is the BRM racing car. And look at this. Here's the Miller's Toys, 44 cents. So that would have been a deal, right? So I have the BRM car. I've got a couple of these. What I did not have, though, was the red one. So the ones I have are blue, and here's the red one. And so two-piece wheels. Got to be careful you don't lose wheels, but the number 5 stickers are there. The driver's there. So really a nice find to have the red one as well. So there we go. Next, I keep bumping the camera, sorry about that. Next is the Mack dump truck. So here's another vehicle that was part of the transition. This is the original 2-piece wheel, and of course it was a dumper. This guy is in incredibly great condition. I have the super fast version of this. But I do not have this guy, so that's a wonderful find. Very happy with that, in such good condition too. The Lotus Europa. A lot of different companies did the Lotus Europa, and this would have been the original one. This was the skinny super fast wheels, like we already talked about. The doors opened on this, and this thing is perfect. It's just in perfect condition. The tow hook is in perfect condition. So with the box and everything, very good find. I'm very happy about this one. Reasonably priced. So yeah, I would say that that guy is one of the better ones. So next we have, again, the 64 Impala. It's called Taxi Cab, but it's a 64 Chevy. And I have one, but it's in very rough condition. This one is near mint. Just beautiful. So I'm very pleased with that one as well, and the box. So that just makes it even better. Okay. Now we got a couple of ambulances. Here's the Cadillac ambulance. And good condition. Just a couple of minor paint chips, but really pretty darn good. Stickers are intact, so very pleased with that. The next one is the Mercedes ambulance. And these guys, you can find a lot of these, but boy, they're all in such rough condition. Look at that beauty right there. He's in great shape, just perfect. And I'm very happy with this find. What else I like about it, of course, the door opens, and these doors easily snapped off. You had to be very careful with them. But look at that. The guy on the gurney is in the back, and that's a great find, because this, obviously, this disappeared right away. And so to have that in the box, mint in the box, really is fantastic. So, yep, very, very, very pleased with that. And then just really, I've got some more Tootsie Toys here. Now, people, as I said, don't seem to really like to collect the Tootsie Toys, but I think they're pretty interesting. You know, collector's tip, right? If it's die cast and made in, if they're made in Great Britain or England, if they're made in the U.S. or even in Japan, you know they're older vehicles. So these are all from Forrest's collection as well. They're Tootsie Toys or Midge toys. Somebody drilled a hole in that seat probably to put some sort of a driver in it. Here's a little Jaguar. Look at that. That's so cool. What's really great about the Tootsie Toys too is they are easily repainted if you want to repaint them. But it's also kind of fun to see the original paint come through. And it's interesting, right? Because this has gold and green on it. A lot of them have dual colors that come through. Here's another, this is a Triumph, and really just a really neat car. Now this is a Midge toy. So Midge toy was very much like Tootsie Toy. It was actually made in Rockford. Both of them were in Illinois, but it's kind of easy to tell the difference because they completely encapsulated the axle and tires on the Midge toy, where Tootsie Toy had the tire open. Here's another Midge toy, really, really cool. A Thunderbird, that one is I believe that's a Tootsie Toy. And here's this would be a Jaguar D-type. No, it'd be before the D-type. So, but yeah, Jaguar. And then a Jeep, and somebody put some extra large wheels on the back of the Jeep. This one I came across a while back. This is a Tootsie Toy. This is a special one. It's older. Most of the time it says made in USA or made in Chicago, made in USA, Chicago. This is made in United States of America, and it's got the white plastic wheels. That's an older guy, and look at the paint on that. Just really, really, really good condition. This is a fun find. I'm very happy with that. So that's it. Oh, I did have one last one. Sorry, here's one that I came across. This is also a Tootsie Toy, so it's a bigger truck. Paint's chipped a lot, but kind of neat. It's a bigger vehicle. It would be in the same size as these two here. Well, that's it for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed looking at the Super Kings and seeing some of the transition vehicles, and then just seeing some recent acquisitions. You know, for me, one of the things that's very fun about the hobby is looking for additions to the hobby, whether it be antique stores or estate sales, or just know somebody who's just getting rid of some of their cars, or cars for a family member, whatever. So the hunt is a lot of fun for me. I hope it is for you. And until next time, happy hunting.